How does it feel to have a second chance to really do something that you started back in 1989 with Spread Eagle, so to speak, to really get back on the bitch? You released you released a new CD. You've been, like I said, like we've been just saying, you've been touring incessantly. How does it feel to have that second chance?
Oh, there's so many words that'll fill that gap. But it's very it gives you like a real sense of purpose now. Now that I'm of age, an elder statesman of this thing. But it's like it's great that the fact that there I didn't think for the longest time that there was people that connected with this music like we did.
Right.
We pockets of people. But now we find places where people are like, oh my God, we never thought we were going to see you guys. And that makes you kind of like, well, we have a kind of a purpose to go around and spread this cool, vibish, groovish thing that we have. But it's awesome. It's all those great words. It's awesome. I wouldn't say it's fully validating yet, because we haven't, done all these. We'll see how when 2024 comes around, I can tell
Right.
it's all, but it's great. I mean, and to do it with people that are all like-minded and cool. It's like people use that term, "We're like a band of brothers," but it is like a family. This,
Yeah.
you know, we travel together and all that. But it's great, man. It's great to connect with people and really understand that when they come up and they say awesomely cool things. Now,
Right.
I really, like, wow, that makes you feel good. So it's like I feel like we are where we're supposed to be, which is playing as much as possible.
Yeah.
You know,
You guys are.
you do in the universe. You bring a good time, a good vibe. You know what I mean? Why
Yep.
should people study? Because it's a good time.
Did you and Rob have to like get the blessing of Salvador Poe and Tommy Gallo to be able to do the spread eagle thing for like legal purposes, legal reasons? Did you have to get there okay, or did you just say screw it, we're doing it? We're
We're doing it.
Yeah.
Rob and I took hold of the trademark. I think. Rob was the catalyst for a lot of this. Because Rob was doing the other gigs and stuff, and decided to make this his focus, which is a big gamble for him.
Yeah.
But we didn't really necessarily need their blessing. I know Rob did speak with them. There was a point we were like, "You guys want to do this with us?" And at the time, I'd been so out of touch with Tommy, I didn't even could never reach him. And Paul was in another country, in another world, so to speak. But fuck it, let's do it. They've given us our blessing since then.
Yeah.
And, it's got to be trippy because you know me and Rob have been doing this together longer now than we did when we were actually signed as
Right.
kids. So we're gonna do it no matter who the fuck lets us do it or not let us do it. But
That's that's another thing. Did you?
I've spoken to Paul. Fuck. I've spoken to Paul and Tommy both,
Mhm.
and they seem to be rolling with it. So it's great, and we have their blessing. Yeah.
That's good. That's great. I mean, look, you brought up, you and Rob have been doing this longer than you have when you were signed. Did you ever go? Has Spread Eagle ever been overseas?
In 2017, we got to do it.
Oh, you did.
We were signed as kids. We never got to go over.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
MCA just didn't. They just didn't know what the fuck they were doing. And then when we finally got to go in 2017, that was the catalyst for recording "Subway to the Stars" because somehow we hooked up with Frontiers and they let us do that.
And they're European. They're from Italy, right?
I believe so. Yeah, at
Yeah.
Milan.
Did you ever feel that things would have been different today if Spread Eagle would have hit or debuted earlier in the '80s as opposed to a time period where music was kind of changing in '89? Do you think your lifestyle would have been different if you would have came out there that period?
Maybe because you gotta remember, even though we had funky clothes and a lot of hair back then, we weren't what you call one of those glam metal bands.
Yeah.
We kind of get mixed with that time period. The sleaze rock, hair metal thing,
Yeah.
whatever. We got caught. We were more harder edge rock, I think. And so it was like we were modeled more like on Guns N' Roses and
Yeah.
Skins kind of vibe. And those two bands just happen to have MTV success, where we didn't get a chance to get to the door because we came to the party a little late. We
Right.
got signed, so it's kind of like things were phasing out a little bit. Rock and roll was a little bit too cherry pie-ish, and then you had Alice in Chains and all that shit come in and just wipe it off the face of
Right.
the earth.
Right.
So we were in the process of actually going for a third record and aiming for something heavier. So I think we would have been part of that movement had we been stay together. But we got caught in that weird window.
Yeah, I mean, two great records to come out of that era.
So music, Paul was so musical. The way he was writing, but Paul was also aware of things around him.
Right.
Like Living Color was out. We wrote like a song called "This Is My World," and we would listen to the universe outside. But we had also at those times we were locked in the studios for hours and hours and just were left to our own devices.
Yeah.
We loved hard rock, and we were like, we're not going to write 10 Hot Sex. You know what I mean? We're not going to do 10 Spread Eagles. We're going to write these cool rock tunes, and we'll throw this in the mix because we have to.
Right. I feel like that your fans, that like the ones who are real musicians, actually like can appreciate it a lot more because having to learn the songs myself, those guys are good. Rob's an excellent unbelievable bass player. Paul is an amazing guitarist. I mean, like, the guitar players that we had when we were playing together, some of those guys couldn't even pick up some of the stuff that Paul was playing, And then the harmonies, the harmonies that you guys were laying out, just unbelievable. So, like, musician wise, I don't think that you guys got the credit that you deserve, because of the time period that you came at it.
Oh yeah, I mean, Paul was good. Paul was really gifted. He's just one of those guys that was gifted. He just came into it's a bad window for Paul. He got lost in the mix because him and actually, I think when he was in Boston, him and Nuno were in the same circles. So I think Bang and Extreme would sort of circle each other quite a bit. So it was like Nuno, Paul.
Right.
And I remember Paul would see like Nuno on a cover of a guitar magazine or something. Man,
yeah,
I could do, But I think his manner of writing, his musicality was a big thing in that. Just very musical cat. So I didn't have that kind of talent around me, so I could elevate my game to that.
So before reuniting with Rob for the spread thing, Rob has been playing bass for UFO and doing the Sebastian Bach thing, and then you had a bunch of projects going on. You had your Girls of Porn and your solo thing, which I was lucky enough to be a part of. We have Weapons of Ado. You did the George Lynch thing for a little while. Will you guys get back to doing other projects, or do you feel that the spread thing will last for a while and this is it? You guys are putting all your eggs in this basket.
Spread's gonna do its thing. We're gonna roll this as hard as we can, and we're not gonna torture ourselves. We're gonna see if it's an acceptable thing that people want. That's how it works. If they don't like around, you're not gonna be around. But the way we're rolling now is like we're just now gaining visibility by playing so much. Like just now they let us on the boat, which was so next year we're going on the Monsters of Rock cruise, which is cool for us because now we're playing. I get to walk on the thing and on the Lido deck and see Glenn Hughes and shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh, man, how do you do that thing? I do. When you met me, I had the APW songs.
Yep.
And I put those out like the little cdbaby.com thing, and it never got a chance to really shine.
Mm-hmm.
So there were cool songs that got left on the table for that. So I decided those songs got picked up for some licensing. For the Sons of Anarchy, some things like that. And this guy Tony Fortuna said, why don't you? I'm gonna do some gaming stuff. Can you guys get some of those mixes going? So me and Miguel decided to remix everything, retune quite a bunch of other stuff, and rebrand it as SupaFly. And I always wanted to have something different with it. APW was cool, but the name bored the shit out of me. My other eggs into SupaFly because it's like me. It's like my calling card.
Right.
Everybody has their own statement. I love spread, and me and Robbie, Rick, we all bust our asses to work together and have fun.
Yeah.
You kind of want to do your own thing, and SupaFly is a big part of that. So I think it's going to come out on Deco Records. Those guys, Bruce and Charlie, and those people.
I don't think so. I might.
They're great, soulful people who have great business minds and understand what a band has to do in the now to spread out, get out because you got to market. You're great at marketing your band.
Yeah.
You gotta have a knack for it, and it's got to just be like not just in your hometown. You got to put it everywhere. And how do you make it all happen? Great support system. Anyway, long story short, Superfly is going to be on Deco Records. It should come out during Halloween, end of October release.
Is it those
So,
songs?
yeah, a lot of the songs, the remixes. I re-sang some stuff.
Okay.
It's not really a re-release. It's a new album. It's branded new logo, Superfly logo. We're putting a band together for it. Hopefully
Cool.
there'll be some shows. I've got great management for it. I got excellent management for it, which I never had before.
Right.
And the songs kind of do that. I think the songs are cool. So, she believes in it and the label believes in it and they're like, we want to help you. So I've never had that before with these songs. So I think Superfly is going to do okay.
That's great. That's great. That's great. That's like breaking news for me. Once this comes out.
Just sort of doing little bits of content for it, putting them in the folder. And they'll start to do that, I'm sure soon, maybe in September while I'm gone.
Right.
So I'm excited about it, bro.
That's great.
And there's always, spread is the main thing. And everything else is just icing on the cake.
Yeah, but that APW stuff was, number one, it was fun to play. Number two, they were all great songs, like to the point like Novocaine and like Monster. Monster's still like one of my favorite songs to play.
We just had to come at it from a different perspective, those songs, and bring them into the now a little bit.
Yeah.
The songs have grown up a little bit. To me, it sounded like a bit of a demo.
Right.
And so went and retuned all the vocals. We re-sang Stolen, some songs like that. And we actually did a cool acoustic version of a thing called Drowning Man. That's really cool. You'll dig.
That's cool. Yeah.
But as it's heavy and it's grooving and it doesn't sound like anything else that's out there, which can kind of be good and bad.
Right.
Because everything that's heavy kind of has the same sort of thing to it, I love all the new bands, but there's so many of them sound alike. And I don't want to be, I can't be some old cat trying to be like,
I say the same thing in my interviews. Same.
We're not Bullet for My Valentine and shit. I don't do that, but it's honest. Those songs are an honest representation of where I'm not a guy that's gonna be all fucking day long and run tracks and shit. It's good, organic. It's very groovy. Groovy.
You're a singer. You're not a screamer anyway. I mean, why do that?
I always used it. Well, on Spread, I screamed a lot, but now I use it for an accent. I think if you're gonna make a point of what you're saying,
right?
Because I'm that fucking talent.
Yeah,
I've learned a lot in the past couple of years.
So who's Ray West listening to now, and who's inspiring you as a singer?
Oh wow! Well, I'm a big Rival Sons fan.
They're great.
Love that cat. I'm like, I can kind of do that a little bit. I've been listening to a lot of Glenn Hughes, but mostly lately what's in my car is POD. I'm slamming POD all the time, and that is like, I don't think they get enough credit because there was a time in the airwaves. They were like Youth of the Nation and all that shit.
Yeah.
I guess I listened to Injected. I thought they were cool, but as far as vocally, I'm a big Bono fan. Sade, Tina Turner.
Well, Tina Turner.
When I gig, I listen to Tina Turner all the time. So I don't listen to rock before we play because I'm going to go do rock. So what's the point, But I'm listening to, as far as new singers, I really dig Rival Sons, man. I actually like Greta Van Fleet. I've seen them live twice now.
Yeah, right. Huh?
Greta Van Fleet.
I love them. We opened for them. They loved us. They loved us enough to give us a standing ovation when we were walking back to our dressing room. They loved us. And the singer just came out, which is great for them, to have the courage to do stuff like that. And knowing that knowing where they are in their careers, and they're still selling places out. It's crazy. The three brothers, crazy.
It doesn't matter if you come out, unless you're like some sort of red actor, something. But he's he's like an alien from outer space because he does this cool. His vocal placement is really in the high. It's in the back palette.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what it sounds like to me. And live, they catch his note. Whoever the soundman is, fucking genius. They take his note and they fly it all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
Just that kind of that youthful energy thing that he has. It's a really clean, beautiful song. You know, he's singing clean, which is fucking awesome.
Yep.
Screaming, and it's like from the old school, like you know, Plant or Rick Emmett, you know, Bruce Dickinson, that cool, clean scream. I love that stuff. But the cat from Rival Sons, because he's got a little bit of Bad Company. There's a little bit of Paul Rogers in him.
100%. Yeah.
And you know, I'm still waiting for. When I was young, I tried to emulate Steve Marriott.
Right.
That was my thing when I was a kid. So I haven't seen anybody do that yet, but I'm waiting for that.
Right. I mean, the thing with Greta Van Fleet too is that I feel like everyone, they got a bad rap because everyone compares them so much to Zeppelin. And dude, when we were backstage, we were getting ready to do our set. Our room was right next to theirs, and the kid was sitting there warming up for like hours before he even went on stage. So they work. These guys are workhorses, and no one knows that because they think, oh, everything's on record. You know, they're playing to attract. They're not playing to attract. These guys are the real deal.
This is why it blows my mind, because they're, as a live band, they don't need extra frills. It's just those guys slamming for the fences. That's fucking awesome.
Yep.
And that's, you know, that's where you cut the boys from the men right there. You know what I mean? It's like they are great live. The guitar player doesn't stop moving.
Amazing.
And the bass player is he's just great. And the drummer does a solo like the third song into the set. And it's a very long solo. Yeah. And we saw them maybe 2 years ago down here. And I just saw them at the Hard Rock.
Right.
And they blew my fucking mind. Just blew my fucking mind. The singer came out so confident, and just, it was amazing, man. All those good, there's a lot of great shows that are out. You know, Foo Fighters have become the top of the heap.
Right.
Shows, Springsteen thing like 3 hours long. You know, David Grohl was a machine.
Yeah.
So man, he's something else, man. What a career that dude's had.
Yeah.
But, love him. I think it's cool to have a young audience the way they do, and you go to their shows. It's like kids, their parents, and their grandparents.
Yeah. There are a lot of shows coming around here that's like that too, and I haven't been to, you know, obviously the two kids, I can't go to shows anymore, but you know, you see pictures of like families going to see like Metallica and Pantera, and you're just like, wow, back when I was younger, that wouldn't happen.
Save up for a year to get like $1,000 a ticket to go see Metallica.
Well, that's true too.
It's crazy, man. How the prices, they price regular people out of the fucking market. You're lucky if you know, so I think it's great. I always tell people, you know, you could see us now for like, you know, $5 for a beer, you know, $30 to get in maybe, you know, or less. You don't got to pay $100 to come see us, you know.
Yeah.
So it'll give you wings.
Have you finally found happiness?
Oh my God. I found my happiness. I found my happy place. But my happiness place lives right next door to chaos. You know? And
his name Brando?
You know, Brando's great. And you know, happiness, man, comes, I think where I am in life now, I know what's important. I think having a sense of purpose is, and I'm not trying to be corny or trying to be somebody I'm not, but this little thing that we do, bringing like this vibe to people of like creamy goodness, you know, what it's all about. And I've learned that I could just be happy with that. I don't need more than that. Like, I get it. I'm supposed to be singing to people to the best I can and making them comfortable and feel good. You know, I think every singer will tell you that, but I fucking mean it.
Right.
I like to just connect with people on a really cool level, and I love to travel. I love to be in it. I'm always like wanting to communicate, wanting to reach out, you know, and I found it. I just had to get back to it. I didn't think I was supposed to be singing anymore, you know, a year ago. I was like, fuck that, man. I'm over it. Why should I fucking drag my ass everywhere and do this stuff, you know? And have people, you know, judging me. But the trick is, what I learned is, look what they got to say.
Yeah.
And if I'm happy and I'm doing what I love, then people can relate to that, and that should be infectious. So I just accepted the fact that I am Ray West, and I got to be the best Ray West
That
psychopath.
rhymed. That should be a song.
So yeah, man, it's happiness is some people just don't have when it's there, some people don't see it.
Yeah.
You know, so if I'm singing and I got a roof over my head and a woman that loves me and good friends to talk to, life's cool, man. You know, I can't really ask for more than that because tomorrow's not promised. So if I have a shitty day, I got to, it's up to me.
Yeah. That's great. Good. I'm happy. I'm happy you're in a happy place. So what I always wanted for you.
How long that shit lasts. You know, I feel like the rug is going to be pulled out at any moment, so I'm just hanging with it. Bro.
Just ride it. Just ride the rug as long as you can.
You know, I mean, honestly, a year back of like this crisis of confidence put me in a right mindset. I just had to give myself a good kick in the ass and be like, why should I be doing this? Like, why am I the guy
Right.
that should be doing this? And who the fuck am I? And I was like, I'm okay. You know, I'm cool with that. I know who I am.
We all know who you are.
Sugar's friend. That's who I am.
Yeah.